everyone, it's Hayes, and this morning RTS released the official synopsis for episode 22 of Miraculous Ladybug Season 5 Collusion, so let's read the translation of it together. The end of the school year is approaching and the rebellion is growing. Monarch Daddy decides to implement a dangerous plan for his secret identity, but also very precarious for Ladybug and Cat Noir. So let's analyse this piece by piece. The end of the school year is approaching. We already know that, okay? Like, all the synopsis recently is like, it's almost the end of the year, it's almost the end of the year, the end of the year is coming up. It's like, we know, okay? Fair enough, we already know the end of the school year is nearly here. But this next bit is the bit of the synopsis that confuses me the most. It says the rebellion is growing, and I was like, whose rebellion? Who's rebelling? And the only thing I can think this is referring to is the resistance show, Nino's resistance. It kind of started in Illusion, we saw more of it in Deflagration. Have we seen more of it more recent than that? Nothing's coming to mind, but please tell me if I'm wrong. I probably am. So perhaps it's something to do with that. Obviously it's trying to take Monarch Daddy down, and pretty much everyone on this team has all used a Miraculous before, I think with the exception of Lila, but I'm also really hoping Lila gets taken down, even if not completely, just taken down a little bit in confrontation. If you already know, please don't tell me. So, I mean, it's a bit hard to theorise when I haven't seen the episode before, you know what I mean? I've only seen up to Revelation, obviously. So, you know, it's a bit more difficult to make theories about it. But that's the only thing I can think of, is that it actually means the resistance group. Although, in my head, no offence, whilst they did a great job in Deflagration, I can't see them becoming that big of a threat. So maybe in this episode, or possibly the episode before, they are taking some bigger steps into becoming a better aid for Ladybug and Cat Noir. Like, they did a good job in Deflagration, I'll give it some. They did a great job with the sauce or the paint or whatever it actually was. But then Monarch Daddy decides to implement a dangerous plan for his secret identity. And the only thing I think this could be, judging just from the synopsis alone, is that he tries to akumatize himself again, Joe. Like the first time in Collector when he was akumatized, it was to throw Ladybug and Cat Noir, you know, off his trail, and he's been akumatized twice more, I believe, in Gabriel Regress and then in Illusion. So it's kind of like to tell them, like, hey, it's not me, it can't be me because I'm getting akumatized, you know? So I think that's possibly what he's doing, but he's given his Akuma maybe something dangerous, hence why it's precarious for Ladybug and Cat Noir. However, one thing I never get with this is that both Marinette and Adrian, when their identities have been majorly at risk, is that they've both managed to hide it themselves really well. So a really good example of this for Marinette is in the episode Kwame Buster, when Adrian kind of nearly finds out that they might go to the same school, but then she gets Marinette to use a mouse Miraculous. It's like, oh god, it can't possibly be both of us. And then again in Desperado, and also in Gorizilla for Adrian, he manages to do the same. So I'm kind of like, if you've been able to do it yourself, then maybe you should realise that possibly the other person has done it, and not only has your partner done it, but also the person trying to get your Miraculouses. Use your brains, you two, for once. Sorry if I sound annoyed, it's because I didn't want any spoilers today, because Tears of the Kingdom is coming out, and all I'm planning to do today is play it. Okay, so if there's any more spoilers, you can find me under my blanket fort on my Nintendo Switch. If anyone thinks I'm too old for a blanket fort, then bestie, you don't know what you're missing out on. No one is too old for a blanket fort, okay? All the air dates are on the screen. I'd love to know what you think of this. Do you think Rebellion refers to the resistance group that Nino came up with? I'm not really sure. I'd love to know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.